Shabbat Shalom, my friends, and welcome back to our weekly reading of the Bible. We're going to continue where we left off with Genesis 27 this week, and hopefully, all y'all, everybody, you're opening your Bibles and following along. As we've said before, I use the scriptures from the Institute for Scriptural Research, and whoops, we may tie that up. So today, had a wonderful fellowship earlier. We went over, what was interesting is the topic for today with the fellowship was Luke 16 and basically the unrighteous manager, and talking about Lazarus and the store owner that would pass by him who had riches and gold, and Lazarus suffered. We're not talking about Lazarus, Jesus's friend that he resurrected. We're talking, that was a common name. And when the rich man died, he spoke to Abraham, and it was a wonderful study. We also did 1 Timothy and Amos today. But with us, that's way too far ahead. So we are going to continue where we left off with Bereshith 27. And this is the continuing. And it came to be when Isaac was old and his eyes were too dim to see, that he called Esau, his elder son, and said to him, "My son." And he answered him, "Here I am." And he said, "See now, I am old. I do not know the day of my death. Now then, please take your weapons, your quiver, and your bow, and go out to the field and hunt wild game for me. And make me a tasty dish such as I love, and bring it to me to eat, in order that my being does bless you before I die." And Rebekah heard when Isaac spoke to Esau his son. And Esau went to the field to hunt wild game, and to bring it. Bless you. That was my wife. And Rebekah spoke to Jacob her son, saying, "See, I heard your father speak to Esau your brother, saying, bring me wild game, and make me a tasty dish to eat, and bless you in the presence of Yahweh before my death. And now, my son, listen to my voice according to what I command you." So Rebekah is telling Jacob, listen to her and obey her commands. This is not from Elohim. This is kind of an important little notation. "Please go to the flock and bring me 2 choice young goats, and I make a tasty dish from them for your father, such as he loves." So you have to think about this. So Isaac has told Esau, "Go and make me a dish." Rebekah has been serving Isaac his dinners for years. She knows exactly what he likes. She knows how to make him that tasty dish. And now we're going between 2 choice young goats and wild game. These goats are most likely within the first year. If you've ever had sheep within the first year, oh, delicious, wonderful. Compared to wild game. Wild game's good. I've had elk, I've had venison. There is a difference. So those 2 choice goats within the first year are going to be very, very tasty. So, and we go back, 27:9. "Please go to the flock and bring me 2 choice young goats, and I make a tasty dish from them for your father, such as he loves. And you shall take it to your father, and he shall eat it, so that he might bless you before his death." And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, "See, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth-skinned man. What if my father touches me? Then I shall be like a deceiver in his eyes, and I shall bring a curse upon myself, and not a blessing." But his mother said to him, "Let your curse be on me, my son. Only obey my voice and go. Get them for me." So this is interesting. So Rebekah is going to take upon, she's like, "Look, you're deceiving him. I'm going to take upon this curse. I'm going to take upon your sin. She's taking on his treachery, one person. If we look to Yeshua, he took on everybody's curse, everybody's sin. The weight of that. Of course, Yah made flesh is capable of taking the curse off of all of us, removing that from us. But Rebekah here, for her son Jacob, is, I will take that curse onto myself, and not a blessing. So she knows she's not going to be blessed for this. But his mother said to him, let your curse be on me, my son. Only obey my voice and go, get them for me. And he went and he fetched them and brought them to his mother. And his mother made a tasty dish such as his father loved. And Rebekah took the best garments of her elder son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them on Jacob, her younger son. These best garments, the robes of Adam, these were Esau's best. These are the robes that he stole from Nimrod. And she put the skins of the young goats on his hands and on the smooth part of his neck. And she gave the tasty dish and the bread, which she had prepared, onto the hand of her son Jacob. And he went to his father and said, my father. And he said, here I am. Who are you, my son? And Jacob said to his father, I am Esau, your firstborn. I have done as you said to me. Please rise, sit and eat of my wild game, so that your being might bless me. And Jacob said to his son, Isaac said to his son, how is it that you have found it so quickly, my son? And he said, because Yahweh, your Elohim, brought it to me. When Isaac said to Jacob, please come near me so that I can feel you, my son, whether you truly are my son Esau or not. And Jacob went near Isaac, his father, and he felt him and said, the voice is the voice of Jacob, but the hands are of Esau. Well, we know that Isaac is getting older. Most likely his sight has been diminished because of age. So he's basing everything on touch. And he did not recognize him, for his hands were hairy like his brother's Esau. Let's reread that, 27 through 23. And he did not recognize him, for his hands were hairy like his brother Esau's hands. And he blessed him. And he said, are you truly my son Esau? And he said, I am. And he said, bring it near to me, and let me eat of my son's wild game, so that my being might bless you. So he brought it near to him, and he ate, and he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said to him, please come near me and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him. And he smelt the smell of his garments and blessed him and said, see, the smell of my son is like the smell of a field which Yahweh has blessed. And Elohim give to you the dew of the heavens and the fatness of the earth and plenty of grain and wine. Let people serve you and nations bow down to you. Be master over your brothers, and let your mother's son bow down to you. Cursed be those cursing you, and blessed be those blessing you. And it came to be, as soon as Isaac had finished blessing Jacob, and Jacob had hardly left the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from his hunting. And he too had made a tasty dish and brought it to his father, and said to his father, let my father rise and eat of his son's wild game, so that your being might bless me. And his father Isaac said to him, who are you? And he said, I am your son, your firstborn, Esau. And Isaac trembled exceedingly and said, who was it? Who was it who hunted wild game and brought it to me? And I ate it, all of it, before you came, and I have blessed him. Yes, he is blessed. When Esau heard the words of his father, he cried in an exceedingly great and bitter cry, and he said to his father, bless me too, O my father. And he said, your brother came with deceit and took your blessing. And Esau said, was his name then called Jacob? For he has caught me by the heel. These 2 times he took my birthright. Okay, Esau is saying he took his birthright. No, Esau sold the birthright. I mean, granted, we know Jacob's is like, hey, you want to eat? You're starving. You're being hunted by Nimrod's men. Here, sell me your birthright. And Esau was so quick to do that. Well, I'm going to be dead anyways. You know, these men, I mean, some say up to 3,000 men were hunting him. And for those of you that are wondering, this is out of the book of Jasher. It's a little bit more of the meat. As we know, the Bible gives us the bone. The non-canonicals sometimes give us the meat of the story, the background. And let us continue. And where did we leave off? Better cry. 27:35. And he said, your brother came with deceit and took your blessing. And Esau said, was his name then called Jacob? For he has caught me by the heel. These 2 times he took my birthright, and see, now he has taken my blessing. And he said, have you not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said to Esau, see, I have made him your master, and all his brothers I have given to him as servants, and I have sustained him with grain and wine. And what then shall I do for you, my son? And Esau said to his father, have you only one blessing, my father? Bless me too, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac, his father, answered and said to him, see, your dwelling is of the fatness of the earth and the dew of the heavens from above. And by your sword you are to live. So Esau is probably going to be going to war. So by your sword you are to live and serve your brother. And it shall be when you grow restless that you shall break his yoke from your neck. That is paramount, as later on we learn. Esau despises Jacob, and Jacob is rightfully fearful because Esau probably has a temper. He's probably known to be angry. I mean, we know he's kind of dropped the ball. He lived, 40 years old. He's got 2 wives from tribes that he was not supposed to be with, living in Esau never stepped up to be a man. He wanted to be a hunter. He liked playing. He wasn't, and Rebekah knew it. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing in which his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father draw near, then I'm going to kill my brother Jacob. And the words of Esau, her older son, were reported to Rebekah, and she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said to him, see, your brother Esau comforts himself concerning you, to kill you. And now, my son, listen to my voice and rise, flee to my brother Laban in Haran, and stay with him a few days until your brother's wrath turns away, until your brother's displeasure turns away from you, and he forgets what you have done to him. And I shall send and bring you from there. Why should I be bereaved to you both in one day? She's about ready to lose her husband. She don't want to lose her son, the one that she cherished most. She cherished Jacob. I mean, we know Rebekah had favorites, and it was definitely Jacob. And Rebekah said to Isaac, I am disgusted with my life because of the daughters of Health. If Jacob takes a wife from the daughters of Health, like these who are the daughters of the land, what is my life to me? And that brings us to the end of Genesis 27. And I kind of want to touch back a little bit before we give today's reading. And I want to kind of go back to the whole Esau and the casting away the yoke. Kofifi. The blessed waters of Yah. Coffee. How could you say that? Because it's coffee. So we'll go back to 27:40. And by your sword you are to live and serve your brother. And it shall be when you grow restless, when you grow tired of this hate and this anger toward your brother, that you shall break his yoke from your neck. So holding on to anger and hatred and malice and stuff like that we are told, forgive those who trespass against us so that the Father will forgive us. Only the Father can forgive, but it is still up to us to forgive those so that the Father looks at us and says, I forgive you as well. Holding on to anger and hatred, and this is coming from personal experience, is not good. It's not healthy. There was a situation I held on to much anger and hatred toward some individuals, and it wasn't until one day I said, you know what, I forgive them. They will answer for what they did. I forgive them. And that was hard, because I believed that forgiving them meant I had to break bread. And I was like, no, I forgive you. You're just not allowed under my covering. Okay. You're not, I will not break bread with you ever again, but I forgive you. Forgiveness does not mean entrance. You're just forgiving them because it's what you want, because none of us are perfect. Man, trust me. I mean, I am a broken man, and I sin daily. I try to walk in Torah as best I can, but man, I mess up. I do. I'm pretty good at Shabbat. I really am. I'm really good at remembering the Sabbath. But there's certain things that just, it's like, ooh, oh, the food laws, those were the easiest. I mean, when I gave up pork, I was like, I'm going to miss brats, and I'm going to miss pork rinds. Bacon was quick. Bacon was like, it's bacon. But then I found not turkey strips, because I refuse to call it turkey bacon, not turkey strips. Beef bacon, sheep bacon. To do the Homer, beef bacon, the drool, donuts. Beef bacon and sheep bacon. And then, even better, venison. 50% venison, 50% sheep, mixed with cheddar and jalapenos in a beef casing. Wow. And that recipe came from Pastor TJ, Pastor Bear. He mentioned that one time in passing, and I was like, oh. And yes, having friends that hunt, I hunt, but I haven't gone hunting in way too long. We'll see how it goes living here in the PNW. Definitely, I don't want to go hunting alone. I got to find some brethren up here, some good brothers that hunt. So I'm always on the lookout for that. Someone I can trust, because if I'm somewhere for a couple days with high-power rifle, I want to know the person well. But with that, we'll bring that to a close. I hope you enjoyed the little bit of a story time. But with that, shalom, blessings. May the Father's face shine upon you. May the Father smile upon you. And with that, Shema Israel, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Ahad. For those of you that don't know, that is the Shema in basically really probably busted up Hebrew. And I just felt compelled to do that. But with you, blessings. We'll catch you next week for Genesis 28. And let's see, we're going to take a little quick look. 28, and we'll probably do 2 of them next week. Okay? Trying to get to 32, one of my favorites. Shalom. Blessings.